Hi, it's Rockin' Robyn for Rat TV on the tour bus with Corey Taylor from SlipKnot here at the PNC Bank Arts Center. It's August, it's hot, but we're chilling inside the bus. How are you today?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So you guys just got done with Mayhem, and now you're doing your own headlining thing. What's coming up after this?
Basically, we're heading up to Canada for Heavy MTL and Heavy TO and headlining those festivals. And then we've got about 3 or 4 days off. And then we're doing the Knotfest shows in Council Bluffs, Iowa and Somerset, Wisconsin.
Figuring if Ozzy can have Ozfest, you guys can have Knotfest. And you've got Lamb of God on the bill. Randy out of the can there.
My band's back. It's awesome. And we didn't want to say anything until we knew it was for sure. So, yeah, I mean, we held off letting everybody know, but I'm really, really happy that he's back, and I've reached out to him to see how he's doing, and, yeah, we're all really just glad that he's back.
So this is the first annual Knotfest, and how did this come about? Whose idea? Was this your brainchild, and do you guys actually get to pick the bands that get to go with you?
Yeah, I mean, this is something we've been talking about for about 10 years now. And I mean, it's because we've been fortunate enough to be a part of like a lot of festival packages and whatnot, not just here, but in Europe and Australia and whatnot. And we would always walk around and we'd just go, you know what, this is cool, but you know, if we were going to do our own, this is what we'd do, you know, and this is how weird we'd get, and blah, 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 blah. And so, I mean, we just kind of started compiling a list of all the stuff that we would try to get away with at a festival show, you know, and, you know, one thing led to another, and we just found ourselves surrounded by the right people to, you know, kind of get it done. And, you know, the rest is going to be history. You know, I can't take, honestly, any credit. You know, I mean, this was conversations that I'd had with like Clown and everybody, but Clown has really kind of led the charge on this, and I'm really proud of him. I mean, he's kind of curated the whole thing, and he's really gone weird with a lot of stuff. I mean, who comes up with a mud luge?
What?
Yeah, we have a mud where there's going to be a mud luge that you know, people can kind of get weird and gross. And yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of fire, a lot of, I mean, there's going to be a goat petting zoo, which is pretty sweet.
There's going to be a petting zoo?
I'm assuming, you know, and I know you make, you know, if you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Unfortunately, I tend to do that a lot, so I'm assuming that's all it is. But there's also a SlipKnot museum. There's going to be some rides. There's going to be some really cool, almost like pagan meets Sister Soleil kind of things, or not Sister Soleil, but Cirque du Soleil kind of things going on. It's going to be really cool.
Very nice. And if it goes off without a hitch and you make all your mistakes this first time around, is this going to be traveling around the country eventually, you think? We're
hoping. You know, I mean, we're starting small. You know, we're just doing 2. See how that goes, you know, and we want to do it smart as well. You know, I mean, there's what we want to do, and then there's the practicality of everything. In this band, you know, we do everything for a reason, but we also try to do it to the best of our abilities, you know, and if we can't make it practical and we can't make it something that people can get to, then, I mean, what's the point? So starting with 2, next year, maybe do 6, year after that, maybe do a handful here, maybe go overseas and do stuff. I mean, I know there are already promoters who are interested in possibly bringing it over. So, yeah, I mean, it's something that we hope that we can build to something bigger than us, you know, so we can send it out with a wholly different band, you know, to headline it or whatever. So it's important to us, and you know, that's why we're very instrumental in getting those bands on it, and really making sure that the bands that we liked were represented, the music that we thought the fans would really be into and whatnot. And then it's just a whole bunch of other explosions and mud and holy God, what the hell was that, you know? Nice. So, yeah.
Bring bail money if you're going, you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of it.
So you guys just released 3 different versions of the best of package, Antennas to Hell. You got the one, you know, the one straight up 19 disc songs, 19 songs full on the disc. You got the second one, that's the deluxe package. That's got the song disc and a bonus audio disc that contains your download festival performance from 2009. And then you got the big daddy of them all. You got the 3 disc set, the version that contains the bonus DVD. It's got every single SlipKnot music video available, and 10 brand new video features titled Broadcast from Hell. What is Broadcast from Hell?
Broadcast from Hell is basically just us kind of showing a little background about, you know, the making of these songs and, you know, backstage stuff, and just giving people a little more of a glimpse into what goes on with it, you know. And, you know, it's, again, I mean, Clown is so instrumental in so much of what we do. I mean, he's really kind of the heart and art of everything that we do. So he's got such a fantastic way of putting together special content, like for the fans and whatnot. So it was cool to be able to offer like 3 different types of packages, you know, and just let the fans decide like what they wanted to get, you know. I mean, obviously the regular version is maybe for, you know, fans who have never heard us before and they want to, you know, just kind of pick up and get a kind of jump start in what we've done. You know, the 2 and 3rd packages are for people who maybe want to get a little more, you know, and see what happens. So we've always been a band who, you know, we try to think outside of just what the regular fans want, you know. I mean, we've got such crazy fans that it just makes sense for us to kind of go above and beyond for them.
Well, there's nothing average about you at all. In fact, to coincide with the release of this best of package, you have a brand new app that gets your fans up close and personal. Talk about that a little bit.
Wear the Mask. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, when Clown was describing it to me, I was just like, this could be one of the coolest things I've ever heard, you know? And it's basically a way for our fans to create their own SlipKnot, which is cool. I mean, you download the app, you answer these questions, and by answering these questions, it creates a mask for you out of... we did like 3D renderings of all of our masks, and then we broke those down into quadrants. And then by answering these questions a certain way, it generates a mask made of all of our little bits of mask for you. And then you basically are either assigned a band or you wait for other people to answer like you, and then it generates a whole band for you. Yeah, I mean, it's really, really cool. We're hoping to take those avatars and maybe get them to be downloadable for other games and whatnot, so we can just insert our sickness into other things. I would love to see like a Wear the Mask character on like an MLB, you know, game. That would be sick, you know. So you see somebody at the plate that's just dressed like a crazy person and whipping sliders at them. I just think it's cool.
Well, you're a comic book guy. I can see a comic book coming out of this.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's something. I mean, that's something that, you know, we've been playing around with for a while, but we just haven't had the right concept, you know. And it's crazy because I'm doing this. You know, we're doing this double concept album with Stone Sour right now, and I'm working on a comic book for that. So maybe that's a way for, you know, SlipKnot to kind of do something that, you know, it has some content, and it's not just about, you know, the illustrations and whatnot.
Yeah, let's talk about the Stone Sour. It's going to be a 2-parter. Yeah. You're going to release the first part in October, and then the second part of the album, which I think are each 12 tracks, correct?
The first disc is 11 tracks, and part 2 is 12. Yeah.
Why are you releasing them separately? Is it you say it's a concept album. What is the concept? Talk about that.
I mean, without giving too much away, it's basically based on a short story that I wrote, that is cut into 2 parts, and it's basically a morality play. It's about a man who finds himself in extraordinary circumstances, and it basically comes down to a choice. Are you going to, you know, about the rest of your life, basically. What's the future going to hold for you? Are you going to achieve greatness? Not really achieve greatness, but are you going to evolve into the person that you could be and let go of the shackles of the past? Or are you going to basically exist with all of the romantic crap that kind of comes from being young and just kind of be a retread for the rest of your life, you know? I mean, it's basically about evolving or stagnating in your life, and that's basically what the concept is about. But it's a very, very cool bit of, I'd hate to say science fiction, but it's got that kind of fantastic vibe to it. And the music is basically the inner dialogue or the outer dialogue for what's going on with the story, so you can actually listen to the music while reading the story, and it's not a blatant bit for bit, like it enhances everything. So part 1 we'll have the first half of the story, then part 2 will have the second half. So it's basically like waiting for a sequel. And you know, as I said, I'm in the final bits of working on a comic book, which will be released in 4 parts as a miniseries. And yeah, I mean, it's the biggest thing I've ever done.
Wow! So the comic book will it be both digital and physical?
We're going to go with digital first, just so we can get it out to people, and then the physical will follow probably a couple months later. But the cool thing is the discs will have each half of the story, but no lyrics. You'll have to go to the website to get the lyrics, and then if you kind of if you mouse or scroll over certain words in the lyrics on the website, it'll unlock different content, like extra art and extra photos and more stuff. So it's going to be a real multimedia kind of event.
You know, that opens up a ton of possibilities for a stage show for Stone Sour. Have you thought about that yet, or is it too soon?
It's a little soon. I mean, we're starting to kind of put stuff together. I mean, right now, we're actually going very minimal for our stage show, because what we want to try and do is maybe have like a very basic like white backdrop behind us, and then project different things. So every show is different. But what we want to do, my ultimate goal is to turn these into 2 movies. And yeah, I mean, that's my ultimate goal, and I already know the people who I would want to work on it and really make it a reality. So if I can get that done, man, I mean, it's going to be the icing on a cake that is just, I've been trying to bake for years, you know?
You are just, between you and Clown, I mean, there's so much creative intensity. The possibilities are endless. Would you write the film, or were you talking about hiring people to direct it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd probably work with a screenwriter and flesh out, between the comics, visuals, and the story that I wrote, try and flesh out the right way and the right beats to basically do something that is kind of the Wall-ish, but not really. A little more dialogue than the Wall, but then the songs would really get you from point A to point B, and really like allow for a lot more visual fantasy and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, it's I know the person that I would want to direct both, and you know, I haven't sat down and talked to him yet, but I'm hoping that, you know, when the time comes, he'll be down to do it.
Good for you. I want to talk about, I had interviewed you last year around this time when you, right after you wrote 7 Deadly Sins. Do we have another book in us, Corey?
I'm actually working on book 2 right now. Yeah, it's slow going because I've got so many damn plates on so many damn sticks, but you know, it's getting there. I'm about halfway done, and I don't have to turn it in until November. So I mean, I'm trying to allow myself the pace to kind of get there, but yeah, it's cooking, and once it's done, I think people are really going to dig it.
What's this one about?
This one is basically kind of about, and not to give too much away, but it's about my experiences with the paranormal, and the things that I've seen, and the houses that I've lived in, and the places where I've been, and basically kind of starting a conversation about, well, how can I believe in ghosts but not in God? Which is something that I've really kind of struggled with, because I just have no faith in religion or anything like that, but I've seen these fantastic things, and it's, for me, it's a matter of science. So it's me trying to kind of work out this conversation in my head, and just basically telling stories in between.
That's of great interest to me. It really is. I'm going to be traveling in a little while, in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to be doing ghost tours. I've seen ghosts. I can't wait to read the book now, because it's of great interest to me. So anyway, Corey, I want to thank you for spending time with the Rat. Corey Taylor from SlipKnot here on Rat TV.